Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see very important articles that appear in our today's in the newspaper. First of all, I'll let you know important topics of the day, and later we are going to see those topics from prelims and as well as mains point of view, and even I'll let you know how the questions can be asked from that area, and at last I'll be giving you prelims practice questions case, so please do watch until last so that you'll be getting lots of insights regarding current affairs. Okay, let us see the topics of the day. First one is unseasonal storms. Rain leave 111 dead, 72 injured in Uttar Pradesh. So this article is talking about unseasonal storms that led to a huge toll in UP. Here you have to see about one important topic called as thunderstorms, which is from your GS paper 1 under geography. And next topic is easy to hold SIR in 16 states and 3 UTs from May 30. So here you have to revise about what is a special intense revision. And this topic is important from GS paper 2 under polity. And next topic is singing of Vande Mataram must in all state-run schools during assembly, says Bengal CM. Here we have to see about this song Vande Mataram, and this year marks 150th anniversary of this song. So for sure in your prelims 2026 you can expect a question on this Vande Mataram. We are going to see some basic facts regarding this song Vande Mataram, and it is important from history point of view from GS paper 1. Our next topic is one dead in landslide in West Bengal mines. Many feared trapped. This article is talking about one important concept called as landslide. Here you have to see that from geography point of view. Our next article is COVID-19 linked to 22.1 million excess deaths globally from 2020 to 2023. In these 3 years, there are around 22.1 million deaths related to COVID-19 happened across the world. So here, WHO report is highlighting this. Apart from this COVID-19, this report is also saying that there are lots of challenges that we face in our health sector. So here we have to see what exactly the challenges posed by this WHO report. This topic is important from GS paper to disaster and as well as from GS paper to health point of view. And next article is the Iran war, India's strategic autonomy challenges. So here because of war in Iran, what are the challenges exactly India is facing? That is given in this article. And this topic is important from international relations from GS paper 2. So these are the articles now we are going to see in this class. Okay, read the title guys. Unseasonal storms. Rain leave 111 dead, 72 injured in UP. So here if you see, it says that heavy showers, thunderstorms wreak havoc across the state, and 179 livestock losses and damage to 227 houses reported. Chief Minister directs district magistrates and other officials to immediately visit victims and release compensation. So this is the article title, and the key word here is you have to see about this thunderstorms. Okay, if you have seen PYQs of UPSC prelims, I think twice they asked a question related to these thunderstorms, and very recently in 2022 or 2023 they asked a question about how they form and what is the mechanism of thunderstorms in prelims question. That means you need to know the concept of thunderstorm clearly. So this time also, if this kind of disasters will be there in news frequently, obviously UPSC has a tendency to ask a question on these thunderstorms again. So how they can ask a question? Consider the following statements regarding thunderstorms. And one statement will be like what is thunderstorm, second statement will be like how the sound is created, and third statement is like which kind of clouds will be formed, like that. Interconnectedly they can give you statements related to this question, related to this topic in that question case, and you have to be very much careful. Okay, that question appeared in 2022 or 2023. If you see PYQs, you can come across that topic. Okay, now let us see what exactly the thunderstorm is. Thunderstorms and tornadoes, they are local storms, and they are of short duration, and they will happen in a small area, not in a large extent, and they are very violent. Because of that only, winds will blow at a very high speed and trees will be getting uprooted and the roofs of the small house will be taken away. So like that it will create a havoc. Thunderstorm is a storm with thunder and lightning. Typically, we can also see heavy rainfall and even sometimes hail. So, have you ever heard the sound before raining? That is the thunderstorm. And whenever this thunder will be happening, even lightning can also happen. And apart from this sound, lightning, we can also see heavy rainfall. And in summer season, normally we'll see even hails. You know this ice will be falling. So that is called as hails. So thunderstorm is a combination of sound, light, heavy rainfall, and sometimes even hails. Okay, thunderstorm occurs normally whenever there is a temperature which is high. Normally in the summer season we can see this thunderstorm because land will be getting heated up very fastly. So whenever land will get heated up fastly, what happen? Air will be getting warm and even water which is present in that area will get warm, and this warm air and water will not stay at the ground level, they become light and they will move upward. Whenever they will move upward, what happens? Whenever we are moving away from the earth in troposphere, temperature increases or decreases? Temperature decreases. So because of this, condensation will happen, and because of this condensation, clouds will form. So whenever clouds are having enough moisture, enough water droplets, then what happens? At some point of time, that cloud will not hold even a single drop of water anymore. At that time, what happened? Because of gravitational force, the water which is stored in these clouds will be falling down in the form of precipitation or rainfall. Okay, so these thunderstorms occur when the temperature is high. Okay, and next one here is because of these thunderstorms, worldwide it is estimated that around 16 million thunderstorms will happen every year. And if temperature is increasing or if climate change is happening, furthermore increasing of thunderstorms we can see across the world. Okay, if you see the formation of this thunderstorm, the first stage will be cumulus stage, second stage will be mature stage, and last stage will be rainfall or dissipation stage. So we have three stages in this thunderstorm. Okay, first one is cumulus stage. The next stage is mature stage, and third stage is rainfall or dissipation stage. So what happens? What is a cumulus? I think you might have seen about different types of clouds. Okay, if you see the types of clouds, we have low altitude clouds, medium altitude clouds, and high altitude clouds, right? We have low altitude clouds, medium altitude clouds, and high altitude clouds. So cumulus is nothing but simply cotton shaped, puffy shaped clouds are called as cumulus clouds. So what happens is whenever our land is getting heated, so this area got high temperature and this ground area got heated more. Then what happened? Air present and water present in that area will be also getting heated. So what happens? The air will become warm air. Normally in the summertime you can see hot air breeze will happen. Yes? So air will be getting heated. That means air will become warm. So warm air has a property. What is that property? It will become light. So because of this becoming of light, it will move upwards, right? So whenever you are moving away from the earth, especially in the troposphere, temperature will be decreases. How much temperature will decrease? For every 165 meters, 1 degree centigrade of temperature will be decreasing. That is called as normal lapse rate. And on this also UPSC asked a question. Normal lapse rate is nothing but for every 165 meters from the ground surface, 1 degree temperature will be decreasing. Okay. So if this warm air and water vapor it is moving away from the earth's surface, after a certain point what happens? It will become cool, and that process is called as condensation. Have you heard this word condensation? Okay, condensation happens and whatever the water vapor is there, that will be converting back into water droplets and that will form clouds. Okay, and these clouds are nothing but the body which is storing water in the atmosphere, right? So if this cloud is becoming heavy, if it can't hold water anymore, you know about the gravitational force. Because of this gravitational force, this water will be falling back on the ground. That process is called as precipitation or rainfall. So this stage is called as cumulus stage. What happens in this cumulus stage? So this clouds will be forming. And what about this mature state? This cloud size will be increasing. It will be storing more and more water and it will be becoming big cloud. That happens in this mature stage. And whenever this cloud is forming or increasing its size, it will grow vertically. That means from down to up, this size of these clouds will be increasing. So because of this, what happened? It will be storing more amount of water, so that only this area will be getting heavy rainfall. In clouds, we have two types of clouds, horizontal clouds and vertical clouds. You know horizontal vertical lines, right? Okay, let us take this is a what? This is horizontal cloud. This is vertical cloud, yes. Which cloud causes heavy rainfall? Vertical cloud will cause heavy rainfall, right? And which cloud cause rainfall in small distance, small area? It will cause only rainfall in this area only, that too heavy rainfall. But if you see this, area is large, but amount of rainfall will be less. So in this thunderstorms also, vertical clouds will be forming in this mature stage and last stage will be dissipation or like rainfall. And whenever this is building, what happen? Hails can form in these clouds, and if one cloud and another cloud is interacting, then what happen? Positive charge, negative charge will be formed and that will lead to the lightning. So this is this thunderstorms. Are you understanding? Okay, see this next article, guys. Easy to hold SIR in 16 states and 3 UTs from May 30. The keyword is SIR. What is the full form of SIR, guys? And have you seen this UPSC geoscientist paper? There is question on SIR. No idea. Okay. So I will tell you what is that question. Recently SIR seen in news. What is the full form? What is the full form of this? They gave 4 options. A, B, C, D. Special Intense Revision. You know this, right? Easily you can get 2 marks there. Okay, but UPSC will not give that much easy question. But if UPSC gave question on SIR and geoscientist, that means UPSC can give other format of question which is difficult level in UPSC prelims for sure. Yes or no? If the topic is important, then only UPSC will ask question, whatever the exam it may be. But the question difficulty level will be changed. We don't know how question can be formed, but for sure UPSC will give question in your prelims, that is CS prelims, that is related to SIR. So how can it may give question? Consider the following statements and they will give you statements regarding SIR and they will ask you to identify correct or incorrect. That is for sure short question in prelims 2026, guys. SIR full form is Special Intense Revision. What is meaning of intense revision? Is that the first time India conducted the special intense revision? No. Earlier also we conducted special intense revision and find out how many times in India after independence we had this special intense revision. Why I am asking this to find out is, if you see the questions related to delimitation, UPSC asked question on delimitation earlier times and the question was in this format, if I am not wrong. The question is, consider the following statements regarding delimitation. They gave 3 statements. In one statement, they said that delimitation had been done more than 6 times in our country. They mentioned the number of times. If UPSC will give the question on this SIR, They may also give a statement regarding how many times this had been done, because this is not for the first time we did in our country. But exactly I can't remember how many times we did, but delimitation we did 4th time. But SIR, please find out how many times India did SIR in our country. That may be one question, one statement. If you know that, obviously you can eliminate or you can withhold that statement. That is the reason I'm saying. Okay. So what is the Special Intense Division? Who will conduct this? Election Commission of India. UPSC can change this. Central government, President, Prime Minister, Chief Minister, whatever the world they want to give, they will replace this ECI with other things. You have to remember this thing, that is a Special Intense Division will be conducted by Election Commission of India, not any other authorities. And next, what is Special Intense Division? What is Special Intense Division? Okay, they will go for door-to-door survey, and they will ask to show the documents, valid documents of that person. And next one is they will remove duplicate names, and as well as they will remove ghost voters. Ghost voters is nothing but who died, so they will remove that. And next one is they will clean up the electoral rolls, that is this SIR. So check once, Kiran, how many times this SIR is done. Okay, and next one here is why, what is the need of this SIR? Do we need this? Is to increase transparency in our electoral rolls and to ensure free and fair elections in our country. Obviously, we need this SIR. Okay, just revise this SIR once, guys. For sure, 100% you will get a question on this in 2026 prelims. Okay, say this next article, guys. Look at the title. Singing of Vande Mataram must in all state-run schools during assembly, says Bengal Chief Minister. Recently, government in Bengal changed. Yes or no? Recent elections concluded. Change of government in Bengal, and which party came into power in Bengal? BJP. So now, obviously, whenever this political parties changes in the states, the agenda of that political party will be different from earlier political party, right? So for sure, we can see some changes in the policies in that state. So now here West Bengal Chief Minister is saying that singing of Vande Mataram song is compulsory. And this time who are writing this 2026 prelims, they have to see in detail about this Vande Mataram song. Because of 150 years anniversary is one thing, and next one is recently Supreme Court gave a judgment regarding this Vande Mataram song and Jana Gana Mana song. So because of this, for sure you need to know about this Vande Mataram. Okay, now you guys tell me who wrote this song. In your Telugu book, especially when you were in the school days, I think in the first or second page you will be having this song. Who wrote this? Okay, at least you know that. I am very happy. Okay, see about this song, guys. Vande Mataram can be also pronounced as Bande Mataram, and it is a poem composed in language Sanskrit. Please make a note. It is composed in the Sanskrit language, but written in Bengali script. UPSC can ask you a statement on this language also. Many a times UPSC will change the Sanskrit with Bengali, Bengali with Tamil, like that. They will be changing the language. You have to be very much careful. Okay. Once if you write at least one prelims, you can understand like how UPSC will ask questions, change the statements. You will be getting that kind of clarity. So for that reason, I am telling before writing exam itself, try to do all PYQs. Then you can understand UPSC where it will focus, how it will change the statements, how it will play with the mindset of students in the examination hall. Mostly psychologically, UPSC will play lots of games. So you should not fall into that trap case. Okay, so it is composed in Sanskrit, but in Bengali script by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee in year 1875. And very important, for the first time it was written in one Bengal novel called as Anand Bhatt. It is also very important where it is written. It is in Anand Math novel. Please make a note. Anand Math novel. And this one is Bande Mataram means I praise the mother, symbolizing devotion to motherland. It means the devotion to motherland. So you may get a statement on this. What is the meaning of Vande Mataram? It is nothing but devotion to motherland. And this poem was first sung by Rabindranath Tagore in 1896 session of INC. It is also very important. In the first session of, when it was sung in year 1896 by whom? Rabindranath Tagore. And this one is the first two verses, that means the first two stanzas of this poem was officially adopted as National Song of India in 1937 by Congress Working Committee. Next important point is, after independence, the first President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, officially designated it as National Song in Constituent Assembly guise. And it should be honored equally with National Anthem of India, Jana Gana Mana, and recently Supreme Court also gave judgment related to Vande Mataram. Okay, and even the Constitution of India also under Article 51A, that is fundamental duties, that too first fundamental duty mandates citizen to respect the Constitution and its ideals like national flag, national anthem. It does not specifically mention national song. You may also get a statement on this. Fundamental duties says about honoring of national song. No, it is about national flag and national anthem. Okay, clear? Say this next question, next article is, one dead in landslide in West Bengal mines. Many fear trapped. The keyword is landslide. Where exactly you study about landslide in your syllabus? In geography? In which topic? In mass movements, we have this landslides. Yes. What exactly is the meaning of landslide? Landslide. Falling of land across a slope is called as landslide. Okay. On this landslide, you will be getting mains question but not prelims question. Many a times UPSC asked question on this landslides from disaster management from paper 3. Even in the paper 1 also they didn't ask question on landslides. Only related to disaster they asked. After this Wayanad landslide, they asked question, and frequently the question is in news, is in paper. So you have to learn this content from mains point of view, not from prelims point of view. If you say about this landslide, landslide is nothing but simply the downward movement of either rock or soil or any debris on a slope. For example, there is a hill or there is a mountain. What happens? On the slopes of this hill or mountain, this will come down. That is called as landslide. It may be rock, it may be soil, it may be debris, it may be anything which will fall from the slope. What are the major reasons? We have two types of reasons. One is natural reasons, second one is man-made, right? So you have to see what are the natural causes and what are the man-made causes or anthropogenic causes. And here we have different types of landslides. Okay, what are those types? The first one is slides. Slide is nothing but the surface will be getting ruptured and that will be coming down. It's called as slide. And next one is flow. Flow is nothing but whenever we have soil or rock which is mixed with water, then it will saturate under that, it will become a slurry. And if this slurry come across the slope, then that is called as flow. And next one is we have spreads. Spread is nothing but cracking of mass because of liquefaction and that will be coming down. And next one is toples. Toples is nothing but rocks which will be coming down the slope. And this one is falls. Falls is nothing but whenever you are having very steep slope. Steep means nothing but like this. What happens? Something will be cutting down and it will be falling down. This is called as falls. So these are the different types of landslides we have. And what are the natural causes? First one is rainfall. Rainfall happens whenever the heavy rainfall happens. soil moisture will be getting increased, soil will becoming mixed with water and it will form a slurry, it will become very slippery. Then what happened? Obviously that will leads to landslides. Wayanad landslide happened because of heavy rainfall. And next one is because of earthquake. If there is any earthquake, the area will get destabilized, the area will be getting loosened. So what happens? Obviously it will come down. And next one is hydrological factors. If there are any porous material, okay, if there are porous rocks which are there, rainfall happened, that porous rock will become wet and it will become heavy. Then what happened? It will not stay in that place, it will come down. So these are the natural causes for this landslides. On another side, we have anthropogenical factors, that's nothing but human made or man made factors. The first one is deforestation. If you're cutting down this forest or trees across the slopes, then what happened? Earlier, these trees' roots used to hold that soil together. But now we are removing it. Then what happened? Soil become looses. And next one is, it will come down. And next one here is because of mining, road construction, urban development will also disrupt natural drainage in that region, and that will lead to landslides. And even we have some geological factors like material composition, structure, everything will be getting affected. So these are the anthropogenic causes and natural causes. So here you have to think like what can be done to reduce this impact of landslides. You may also get a case study. You have been posted in a district in Himalayan state and there are frequent landslides in that area. Because of this landslides, frequent blockage of important roads are happening. Because of that, it is causing disturbance to the transportation, livelihood and economic activities in that region. As a district collector, what kind of steps you can take to control this landslides or to minimize the impacts of landslides? Are you understanding? So here you have to think about what kind of measures we can take to control landslides in that area as a district collector. So many of you completed BTech, you know more technology than me. So use your technology knowledge and find out technological solutions to minimize the impacts. Are you understanding? And see this title guys, COVID-19 linked to 22.1 million excess deaths globally from 2020 to 2023, says WHO report. What is article talking about? Deaths related to COVID-19, right? So this WHO report is highlighting that COVID-19 pandemic exposed vulnerabilities in global health system, and they estimated that around 22.1 million excess deaths, and even there are some indirect deaths which are happened from this 2020 to 2023 guys. That is about one statistics of WHO. So this article is saying that COVID-19 started affecting people from 2019 onwards until 2023 also. There are some indirect relations with COVID-19 related deaths in our country, not only in our country, across the world. So apart from this COVID-19, this report is saying that there are many challenges we are having. So those challenges are, the first one is malaria incidence is increasing. And recently we discussed that because of climate change, increasing of temperature, mosquito breeding will happen. Because of this increased mosquito, even other diseases related to mosquito borne will be increased. So the same thing which is highlighted here is one important challenge that we are going to face is malaria, okay, which is a mosquito borne disease. And next important problem they said is anemia. What is anemia? Low blood level, especially hemoglobin level will be less. And recently we discussed that in one program. What is that program? Government is focusing on fighting of anemia even in boys also. Did we discuss that topic? What is that topic is about? Whenever we are talking about health related programs, we are focusing on only women and children. Mostly the boys and male are left aside, no? So recently our government of India is taking a step to include even fighting against anemia in boys. No idea. Very good. Very good memory. Okay. So here is next problem they highlighted is anemia. Anemia is affecting 30.7% of women of reproductive age, and we have to fight against that. And next one here is violence against women is also high across the world. Especially intimate partner violence is affecting 1 in 4 women globally. Not only in India, but even violence against women is a global problem. Globally, if you take 4 women, in that 1 woman is facing this problem of violence. Okay, so these are the major problems that we are facing in across the globe. So we have to fight against that problem. That is this World Health Organization report. So where can you use this article? Whenever you are writing any answer related to health in your mains, can you use this or not? What will be the challenges that we are going to face, and what kind of measures the country should take? And even you may get a case study like your district collector in your district anemia problem is there, or like malaria or mosquito borne disease are increasing rapidly. So what kind of measures you can take, or what is your course of action, like that also they may give you a question, because it is a global problem and WHO itself gave a report. So you have to think about some innovative ideas to fight against this problem. Are you understanding? So here this topic, from this area also you may get case study. And from this violence against women, you may get an interview question also. Especially women who are attending this interview, they will ask you, they will give you a situation like your mate is facing violence. Her husband is coming daily and beating her, and the situation is sometimes becoming very serious. So at that time, what kind of advice you will give to your mate? How can you make her empowered? So like that, especially women, if you're having this interview, in that for sure one question will be about this kind of case study. How can you empower the other people? Because if you are at that stage, means obviously you are empowered, right? And now it is your responsibility to empower at least other women. So they will be checking the mindset of you there, like how you are going to empower women in that high role. Okay, so you have to think about that, and you have to think like how can you solve the problems of women. For sure one question will be there on that area, because in every board one member will be woman for sure. That women member will be asking this kind of questions related to women empowerment. Okay, and see this topic is the Iran war, India's strategic autonomy challenges. You know reason why in Iran is under war. You know about US, Israel issue is going on in West Asia. So you have to see clearly map of West Asia, oil fields, Strait of Hormuz, countries which are sharing boundary with Iran is very important. Iran and Israel, you have to see the countries which are sharing boundary with Iran and Israel. And you have to see about this blue line, yellow line, purple line. Already we discussed that, right? So just revise your current affairs notes thoroughly, guys. Okay, now let us see this challenges. First one here is what challenges we are facing. So if any country is in war, can we support that country? Or can we break completely the ties with that country? That means we will be having a diplomatic balancing related problem. How we have to continue the relations. Why? Because which is a country opposite to Iran? US. Is US India's friend or not? Yes. So if we are going against Iran, India-US relations will become strong. Yes. Enemy's enemy will be our friend. If you are going close towards Iran, then what happened? India-US relations will be getting affected. But Iran is important to India, and even US is important to India. Why Iran is important? For our oil, we are not bringing, but we are now planning to bring this oil. And this one is we have Chabahar Port Development Project, we have IMEC project, we have North-South Transport Corridor project. If we want to do all this, for sure we need to maintain the good relations with Iran. And even Pakistan, to counter this Pakistan also we need help of Iran. Yes. So first important challenge we are having is diplomatic balancing. We will be juggling, we will be stuck between India, US and as well as India, Iran ties. We cannot move forward and we cannot move backward. So that is the one important problem we will be facing now because of this Iran war. Are you understanding? How to maintain relations. And next one is our energy security. Why? Because 80% of oil we are importing from other countries. And if Iran is continuously attacking the bases and areas in this West Asia, what happened? Can we get oil on time? And even Iran is closing this, Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz. So because of the ships which are carrying this gas and oil are not coming in that area. So because of this, obviously it is affecting our energy security or not. So one more important challenge because of Iran's war to India is energy security. There is increased oil price, supply disruptions, and even US sanctions pressures are increasing on India. That is the second important challenge. And third problem here is Chabahar port. India is developing Chabahar port in Iran to counter which port? Gwadar port of Pakistan, right? So if Iran is under war, if US is attacking that Chabahar port, then what happened? Whatever the investment we did, it is waste or not? Yes. And even if you want to complete the project fast, is it happens? No, it will be delayed. And next one here is you are also having maritime or security risk because Iran is sharing boundary with Indian Ocean region and India is the one of the net security provider in this Indian Ocean region. If Iran is under war, obviously what happened? Maritime risk security issues will be increased in Indian Ocean region. Yes or no? Recently, one ship of Iran had been attacked by US across this India and Sri Lanka coast. Yes or no? And next one here is there will be forced choices in crisis and we can also expose to the constraints on independent policy. If you want to make independent foreign policy, can we make? No. So other country interference will be there in India's foreign policy. So these are the major challenges that we are facing because of Iran's war. Clear? And it may be a 10-mark question in your mains. See these questions guys and you have to answer these questions. Use techniques and answer these questions. First one is consider the following statements regarding landslides. How many of you wrote defense test? Defense, SNT. How many marks you got out of 25? Huh? 21. So actually one girl messaged me from online GS group that because of technique without reading also she solved 17 questions it seems. Without reading 17 questions. And she personally thanked me like, ma'am, I'm so happy to join here. Like that, she posted a big message. And finally she said, yes, because of your techniques, without reading, I scored 17 out of 25, ma'am, like that. That's what I'm telling. So try to mug up those techniques and try to use in your test. If you're not using it, it's waste of your time. That's what I'm telling. So what are the tests? We are keeping regular tests now. Weekly twice I'm keeping test. And once this exam will be completed, I will be focusing on you only. Still more 10 days. Okay, so try to mug up that and everyone has to purchase this 47 years of PYQ book and apply that there. Okay. So apply this and tell me the answer for this question. A. Landslides are more common in the regions with steep slopes. Earthquakes can trigger. Dense vegetation always increases the occurrence of landslides. What is the answer? Be allowed. 1 and 2A. Yes. See this next one. With reference to Vande Mataram, consider the following statements. It was written by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. It was first published in novel Anand Mat. The entire song was adopted as a national song. What is the answer? 1 and 2. Option A. Are you feeling easy or not to solve these questions? If you practice well, for sure in the first attempt itself you can clear your prelims. I said If you read completely A to Z, 1 year fully all channel books, material, current affairs also, you can do not more than 30 questions. And remaining 30 to 40 you have to do by these tricks only. That only will work. And common sense, knowledge and tricks. That will helps you to clear prelims. With solely knowledge you can't guess. That is for 100% sure. And no one will tell that kind of tricks. No one. Okay. But I took around 3 hours of class on that day just to tell you tricks, and I arranged around 60 to 70 questions I guess on that day to show you how to apply them. Okay, try to use that guys and try to revise it and try to apply in solving PYQs. What are the subjects which are going on? Try to take PYQs of that subject and try to apply this on that day itself. Then you can understand where exactly UPSC is playing games. Okay. That's all guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much. And if you like this class, please do hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And if you want to join GS Foundation course here, you can contact us for further more details. And recently the new batch had been started in our academy. And if you have any queries, please do contact us on this number 8074765513. Or else you can text me on WhatsApp on this number guys. And if you want to visit our academy, you can come and you can visit our academy which is located in Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad guys. And I will be available in institute from morning to evening. You can come and you can directly talk to me. Thank you so much guys.